Have you ever felt that no matter what you do, she drifts away, like her mind is somewhere you can't reach? That gnawing frustration, that pit in your stomach, that's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you've never understood what truly pulls a woman in. Today, I'm going to reveal secrets that are often hidden, truths about female attraction that will flip everything you thought you knew. The first truth is this: confidence isn't just walking with your chest out. It's the subtle energy that tells her, without words, that your mind is unshakable. Women don't respond to perfection. They respond to a man who owns himself completely, who doesn't bend to approval, and who moves with certainty even when chaos surrounds him. Think of it like this: the most magnetic men aren't loud. They're deliberate. Their calm alone is a force. And when a woman senses that quiet command over your own life, she can't help but be drawn toward it. But there's more. This is where most men fail. They confuse attention with attraction. You might be giving her every word she wants to hear, every compliment, every laugh, but true magnetic pull comes from intrigue, from mystery. You're not just a book she can finish in one night. You're a puzzle that challenges her curiosity. Women crave a mind that stimulates theirs, a presence that makes them feel they are in the room with someone who understands life on a level they themselves aspire to. That subtle tension, the kind that keeps her thinking about you long after you've left, is what creates an emotional hook far stronger than any charm or line. And here's a secret most men never hear: vulnerability isn't weakness. The men who scare women aren't the ones who hide their emotions. They're the ones who hide their depth. A woman can feel the layers of your soul through small, authentic gestures. The way you speak, the moments you allow silence to speak for you. But this is delicate. Too much too soon, and the illusion shatters. The timing of how, when, and where you reveal these truths about yourself is what makes you irresistible. Every glance, every word, every pause must hint at depth without fully exposing it. Finally, understand this: your value isn't validated by her presence. The moment a man's sense of worth becomes tied to female attention, his energy collapses. Women subconsciously feel desperation as a lack of self-possession. But when you walk through life as though her presence is a privilege for her, not a requirement for you, the dynamic flips. Your energy becomes intoxicating, magnetic, undeniable, and this is only the beginning. What you are about to discover next goes deeper into psychology, into instinct, into the mind of a woman, and it will give you tools to not just attract, but command attention without force. Ask yourself quietly, do you really know why she's drawn to some men while ignoring countless others who try harder? If you don't, stay with me, because what's coming next will reshape your understanding of attraction forever. Here's something most men never realize. Women are wired to notice subtle patterns in behavior long before words are spoken. Every choice you make, every tiny reaction, signals your level of control over life, and that is far more seductive than any scripted pickup line. The truth is, attraction isn't about what you say, it's about the silent story you tell through presence. Women feel it instantly: your energy, your focus, your ability to navigate life without clinging to outcomes. That's magnetic. Imagine walking into a room and every eye subtly follows you, not because you demand attention, but because you carry a gravity that pulls it naturally. That's the energy of men who are unconsciously irresistible. It's not charm, it's mastery of self. And mastery of self begins with understanding how her mind works. Women are subconsciously drawn to men who mirror the qualities they seek, but often cannot find in themselves. Strength paired with empathy, decisiveness paired with patience, mystery paired with depth. If you can embody these without trying, you create a gravitational pull that almost feels unfair. Let's talk about emotion, because this is where most men fail. Emotional intelligence isn't just about being nice or understanding. It's about knowing when to engage, when to withdraw, and how to make her feel seen in a way that resonates with her subconscious desires. When she talks, truly listen, not to reply, but to absorb. Her feelings are not a puzzle to solve, they're a signal system. Respond in ways that validate without diminishing, that intrigue without suffocating. When a woman feels understood on a level she hasn't felt before, it triggers a chemical reaction she cannot control, and she begins associating that feeling with you, even if she doesn't consciously realize it. And then there's the paradox: every man struggles with. You cannot be her everything. Trying to be her constant, her safe space, 24/7, kills attraction faster than anything else. Desire thrives on space, on independence, on the sense that your life exists fully without needing her to fill it. When you maintain that balance, invested yet unattached, present yet self-contained, you become the kind of man who cannot be replaced. You become the exception, the anomaly she can't stop thinking about. The most powerful tool in your arsenal, though, is timing. Timing in words, timing in touch, timing in emotional revelation. Too early and you expose your hand. Too late and you lose the connection. Women sense timing subconsciously. It's an invisible rhythm of tension and release. Learn to move in harmony with it, and you don't just attract her attention, you guide her emotional experience without saying a single manipulative word. Master this, and you don't just become interesting, you become unforgettable. Now reflect on this. When was the last time your presence made a woman pause, really pause, and feel a rush of curiosity, excitement, and respect all at once? That's what you're aiming for. And it's far simpler than you think, once you understand the rules of her mind. If you're ready, I can move straight into section 3, where we'll hit the deepest psychological triggers, irresistible behaviors, and magnetic traits that make a man impossible to ignore. Here's a truth most men never hear. Attraction is never earned. It's perceived. Every interaction, every gesture, every word you choose is subconsciously scanned by her mind for signals of value, power, and emotional depth. Women don't just want a man who treats them well. They want a man who challenges their mind, evokes their curiosity, and makes them feel alive in ways they can't fully explain. That's where the irresistible traits come in. First, authenticity. Women can smell a facade from a mile away. Pretending to be what you think she wants is a fast track to invisibility. Instead, embrace your quirks, your passions, your intensity. Speak with conviction about the things that matter to you, even if they make her uncomfortable at first. Ironically, this discomfort is magnetic. It signals that you are unafraid to live fully, and nothing is more irresistible than a man who owns his truth. Next, unpredictability, but not chaos. Subtle surprises, a shift in energy, a tone in your voice, a look in your eyes. These are the signals that trigger dopamine, the chemical that makes her think about you long after you're gone. Women crave emotional highs and lows in safe doses. They crave a man who can create intrigue without manipulation. Master this, and you're no longer just part of her social circle. You become an emotional landmark in her mind. Then there's dominance, the quiet, confident kind, not the aggressive, overbearing type. A man who takes the lead in decisions, who sets the tone for interactions, and who acts without seeking approval, creates a magnetic authority. But dominance alone is hollow. Pair it with warmth, listening, and subtle vulnerability, and it becomes irresistible. Women are wired to notice this balance. It triggers a deep psychological attraction rooted in biology and social intuition. Emotional control is next. Your mood, your reactions, the way you handle tension, they all signal your level of self-mastery. A man who can remain calm under pressure, who responds with clarity instead of reactivity, gives off a sense of power that's impossible to ignore. Women feel safe, challenged, and stimulated all at once in his presence. That combination is lethal in attraction terms. Finally, passion. Not generic passion, real, living, breathing obsession with your life's purpose. Women are drawn to men who have fire in their eyes, who pursue goals that make them come alive. This is a non-verbal signal that your life is valuable, that your time is precious, and that your energy cannot be taken for granted. Combine passion with patience, mystery with presence, and dominance with warmth, and you become a man who triggers desire on instinct alone. Now ask yourself this quietly. When was the last time a woman felt challenged, intrigued, and deeply drawn to you? Not because you chased her, but because your life pulled her in? The men who master this don't chase, they attract. And attraction, real attraction, begins inside you long before it ever reaches her mind. Now that you understand the invisible rules that govern female attraction, it's time to integrate them into your life, not as tricks, but as the essence of who you become. The difference between a man who is forgotten and a man who lingers in her mind is subtle, yet powerful. It's the combination of presence, authenticity, controlled passion, and emotional mastery, all woven seamlessly into your daily life. Women are not attracted to men who perform. They are captivated by men who live fully. Your energy, your focus, your choices, they create an atmosphere she can feel even when you're silent. It's in the way you enter a room, the way your gaze lingers just enough, the way your laughter carries weight, not just volume. This is presence, the silent language that communicates power, confidence, and desire simultaneously. A woman senses it before she can articulate it, and once she does, she can't forget it. Magnetism is also about scarcity, not artificial scarcity, real life scarcity. When your time, your attention, and your energy are fully yours, you are valuable by default. Women are instinctively drawn to men who live outside of need, men who prioritize their growth, their passions, and their purpose. That doesn't mean ignoring her. It means being a man who is whole on his own. Desire thrives where independence meets connection. She doesn't chase. She instinctively leans in. Emotional layering is another secret. You're not just a man with traits. You're a man who evokes experiences. Your energy should fluctuate with intention. Moments of intensity, moments of calm, moments of warmth, moments of subtle detachment. This rhythm is the music her mind can't stop playing. She thinks she's analyzing you, but really, she's responding to the emotional signals you're sending. Signals that say, I am a man who exists fully, independently, and deeply. And finally, integrate patience with unpredictability. Desire cannot be forced. It must be cultivated. Allow interactions to unfold naturally, but never at the expense of your boundaries. Speak when your words have weight. Touch when your presence commands. Reveal layers of your depth slowly, like chapters in a book she cannot put down. This is not manipulation. It's mastery of human psychology and social dynamics, applied ethically and powerfully. Now, here's the question I want you to answer for yourself, and leave in the comments below. If attraction is 70% presence, 20% emotional mastery, and 10% shared experiences, how much of that do you already embody in your daily life? Think about it, calculate it, and tell me your number. Then, if this video opened your eyes to truths you weren't taught, subscribe and share it with the friend who needs to hear this. Because mastering these traits doesn't just change how women see you, it changes how you see yourself. And once you step into that version of yourself, nothing can ever look at you the same way again.